G'day folks, welcome back to the channel. This is just going to be a short little update video. Yes, another one on the DR-F8. This thing drove me up the wall sideways on Sunday and I kind of want to talk about it, so I thought at least I should let you know about what exactly I've done to try to find and fix this noise issue that the Dolby board has on this thing. I have not found it yet. All I have found is a migraine. I don't know what to tell you, but first we need to talk about the quartz lock circuitry on this, because I don't think the service manual is correct. Basically, what they tell you to do in the service manual is to monitor this test point right here. Let's see, can I get you in to see that? This test point right here. And they want 906 hertz from a square wave on this test point, but I cannot get a square wave on that test point. Where I can get a square wave is right here, pin 9 of the IC. So I think that's where they want you to do your testing, but there's another gotcha here. I'm going to turn on my scope real quick. You can't see this because it's off camera. You'll just have to kind of trust me for now. I'm going to turn the deck on. As you can see, the quartz lock light is lit. The problem is I can't get 906 hertz with that light on. So I'm kind of thinking maybe this is like the DR-M4, as someone recently pointed out to me over at Tapeheads. I don't know if he wants his name mentioned on camera, so I won't. But thanks to you, sir, for the comments and advice. Anyhow, I'm measuring that pin right now, and let me sync my scope here. And I'm getting the proper waveform. Let's see if I can show you. Well, probably not. Let me bring the scope over to you. There, you see that? Nice square wave right there. And it's at 901 hertz. Now I want to show you what happens when I bring it up to the required 906. Let's see if I can do this without losing control of my probe here and shorting something out. At 906, which is right there, the light turns off, just like the DR-M4 apparently wants it to have. So I think this is the correct setting right here, but I don't know for sure. I'm kind of thinking I like it at 901 because then the deck plays exactly 3000 hertz with my 3000 hertz test tape. But you know what? I think I'm actually going to leave it right here. It looks 50% on the scope right now, and that's the duty cycle they want you to have with this. So maybe I'll just leave it. But let's shut the scope off and go on to the Dolby crap, because this may be responsible for me not having a video on Saturday this week. So forgive me if I don't have one this week, other than this one and the earlier one for the that I did on Sunday for this thing. Well, actually it was Saturday, but you saw it on Sunday. Okay, what have I done on this board? Well, what haven't I done is the more pertinent question here. I have ruled out every single transistor and every single IC. None of them seem to be a problem on this. I have swapped literally every transistor now, at least on the playback side. I haven't done much on the recording side yet. I did pull every transistor one by one on the recording side to see if that was the problem. No change. What can I say? I have also swapped these two ICs for these two. This is playback for the right channel, and this is playback for the left channel. No change there either. I have swapped the line in from the audio coming in from below, and I have also swapped the audio at the outputs, and I have now confined the issue exactly to this board. It can't be anywhere else. It's impossible. Let's see, what else have I done? Well, I've changed a ton of capacitors over here now. All the electrolytics have been done over here. No change, of course. Most of the film caps have been changed. No effect. Like, yeah, you can see all the little film caps I've changed in here. I've got a bunch of WEMAs in here now. And I'm probably going to be pulling those back out and putting the originals back in at this point, because the originals were all good. I don't know what else to tell you there. But with regards to TR-702, you'll remember that on the last video, I was able to pull that out and the noise issue stopped. And what I can confirm now is not only does the noise issue stop when I pull that out, I get nice clean audio from the Dolby out position. Sounds great that way. I don't know what else to tell you, but here's the problem. TR-702 controls Dolby C actuation, so if I take that out, I lose Dolby C. But Dolby B still works because it's this transistor that does Dolby B. So what I'm kind of thinking is, if I can't get on top of this issue anytime soon in a reasonable time frame, I'm just going to pull TR-702 and let this have no Dolby C, because I'm never going to use it anyway. But with that being said, I would still like to find this problem. There is one possible more issue that I can think of that might be causing that. Let's straighten these capacitors first. There is a resistor on the emitter of TR-702. If that resistor has gone out of spec, I could see that causing the issue. I don't think it is, but I could see it maybe being an issue. It's a 1.8K resistor. That is the last thing I know to try on this before giving up on the whole Dolby C experiment. And basically, if the deck doesn't work at that point, I'll just pull TR-702 and just let it live without Dolby C. Again, won't use it, won't miss it. But yeah, that's kind of the update I have for you on that. You'll see that TR-702 and 701 are not the original transistors anymore. No, I didn't find my KSC 1815s. I found other replacements that worked. KSC 945. And I don't have very many of these, so I'm thinking what I do after I conclude this video is I'm going to hit up Mauser, maybe buy a few more of these, buy a whole bunch more KSC 1815s, maybe some other transistors. I don't like doing a $30 Mauser order when I'm going to have to pay 20 bucks in shipping anyway, so I might as well load up again, is what I can think there. TR-701 and 702 were all 2SC 2320s, I do believe. There's one sitting on the bench somewhere, but I can't find it. Anyhow, this deck uses a lot of those transistors, and I've been sort of swapping them all over the board as I go along with this. It is possible we have multiple bad 2SC 2320s on this board. They're not really that known for going noisy, but there have been some reports about that being the case. So that's kind of the other reason for me maybe going ahead and buying some more KSC 1815s, because if that clears up the issue by replacing all of those transistors with the 1815s, then we'll know what the problem is. Or I'll know what the problem is, and I kind of want to know what the problem is. This is one aggravating tape deck, just like the DR-M3. Only, I think at this point this is the more aggravating of the two, and in fact, I can't think of another deck that's been more aggravating than this one. And I haven't even started on the calibrations on this thing yet. I don't even know if the calibration circuits work. They appear to, I just don't know if they do, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the original components from this side of the Dolby board into a little bag, and I will put this on the shelf for a while until I feel like working on it again, and then I'll drop the old capacitors back in it and whatnot. I am completely out of this stuff now because of this deck. I've tried heating and cooling every single silicon part on this. Nothing works. Or at least nothing changes that issue. It's just maddening. So that's why I'm kind of thinking of giving up on Dolby C altogether. But at least we know it's not anything under here. I have ruled all of this out. And I've now had this board up and down so often that I've had wires breaking off of it. So I really have to start concluding things with this deck, because it's getting to a point now where I'm worried about breaking something that cannot be fixed. So, oh yes, the other thing is I've got a DR-F7 on my watch list from Japan right now. I'm kind of thinking about grabbing that deck to swap over the Dolby board entirely. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that yet, but we'll see. That deck is currently sitting at maybe 66 bucks Canadian with no takers on, or no bidders on it yet. But I'm warning you right now, if I can't get that deck for my opening bid, which would be 66 bucks, I probably won't buy it, because last thing I want is another nightmare like this sitting on my shelves. Anyhow, we're slowly getting to the finish line on this. It's real slow because Denon stuff, but yeah, as usual, the transport was the easy service on a Denon. And oh, the other thing is, there's a DR-M44 on eBay Canada right now. It's kind of tempting, but kind of not. That's one of their best models, I think. It's the HX version you kind of want, so that's why I'm kind of thinking I'm going to pass on that one, but it's at a good price, so if you guys want to go buy it, go ahead. I won't stop you. That model is direct drive like this one, except there's no quartz lock. Anyhow, that is my update on the DR-F8 for today. Probably the last one for a while. I don't know what we're doing on Saturday. I'm expecting those two Nakamichi 3-headers this week, so maybe we'll do an unboxing and evaluation on camera for both of those. We'll see. Anyway, whenever the next video is, I'll see you next time. Take care.